Hello, welcome to the discourse. Today's topic is the participle. Let us check this sentence. Hearing a siren, the thief ran away. Now in this sentence, this word hearing, it is notifying or signifying the noun thief. That is, this word is acting as an adjective. But it is not an adjective. Rather, hearing is a word made of a verb hear. Also in this same sentence, hearing is also governing the object siren. That is, it is acting as a verb. So, hearing is a word which is acting as an adjective and also as a verb. And this is the definition of the participle. The definition is, a participle is a word or a form of verb. A participle is a form of verb that partakes the nature of a verb and that of an adjective. In other words, a participle is a word which is partly a verb and partly an adjective. So a participle is a word that acts as an adjective and also as a verb. Let us check these sentences. We met a girl carrying a basket of flour. Loudly knocking at the gate, he demanded admission. The child, thinking all was safe, attempted to cross the road. He rushed into the field and foremost fighting fell. Now these words that are underlined, carrying, knocking, thinking, fighting, all these are known as the present participle. All these are participles and these are a special kind of participles. They are present participle. All present participle end in ing. And they represent an action that is not complete, that is still happening. So, a present participle represents an action that is not complete, that is imperfect or incomplete. Now, in this first sentence, the present participle is carrying and it comes from a transitive verb carry, hence it has an object. In the second sentence, knocking is the present participle and it is being modified by the adverb loudly. This is the adverb and it is modifying knocking. It is changing the meaning of knocking. Now, just like present participle, the other type of participles are past participles. Past participles are those participles that represents an action that has already been completed or it represents a state that is complete. Past participle represents a complete action. Now all the present participle ends in ing. Let us see the case of past participle. These are the examples of past participles. Blinded by a dust storm, they fell into disorder. Deceived by his friends, he lost all hopes. Driven by hunger, driven is the past participle, he stole a piece of bread. Time misspent is time lost. Misspent is the past participle. We saw a few trees laden with fruits. Laden is the past participle. Now, past participles are those which represent such actions that are already being complete. They are complete actions. Blinded by a dust storm. They are already being blinded and after that they fell into disorder. Deceived by his friends. He was already being deceived and after that he lost all his hopes. Driven by hunger. He was already very hungry and because of that he stole a piece of bread. Time misspent. If you have already misspent the time, then you have lost it. We saw a few trees laden with fruits. Those trees were already laden with fruits and we saw them after that. So, past participles represents all such actions that have already been completed. They are complete actions or such states that are already complete. Now from these sentences it is also clear that a past participle ends with ed or d or n or t or en. So the present participle always ends with ing and the past participle ends with ed or d or n or t or en. Now apart from the present participle and the past participle, there is one more type of or one more form of the participle, and that is the perfect participle. The present participle represents such actions which are not complete, which are imperfect or incomplete. The past participle represents such actions or state which are already complete. And the perfect participle represents such actions that were completed some time ago in the past. It represents actions that were completed or finished at some time in past. One of the examples for perfect participle is having rested, we continued our journey. Here rested is the perfect participle. It is representing an action of taking rest. We were tired, so we took rest. And after completing our rest, having rested, we continued our journey. So participle is a form of verb which can be used as an adjective and also as a verb. Participle can be of three types: the present participle, the past participle and the perfect participle. Now when we use a participle before a noun or a pronoun just as a simple qualifying adjective, then we call that participle as the participle adjective. Participle adjective. So when a participle is used as a simple qualifying adjective in front of a noun or a pronoun or before a noun or a pronoun, it is known as the participle adjective. These are the examples of participle adjectives. A rolling stone gathers no mass. Here rolling is the participle, it is the present participle and it is used before a noun, stone, and it is the participle adjective because it is simply qualifying the noun stone. We had a drink of sparkling water. Again, sparkling is the participle and it is being used to qualify water that we drank. A lying witness. Lying is the participle which is qualifying witness, which is the noun. Must be punished. He played a losing game. Here losing is the participle, it is the present participle and it is qualifying game, which is a noun. A burnt child dreads the fire. In this case, burnt is the participle, it is the past participle and it is qualifying the noun child and hence it is the participle adjective. Is finished manners. Finished is the past participle, manners is the noun and hence finished is the participle adjective. Produced a very favorable impression. He wears a worried look. Look is the noun, worried is the participle and it is the participle adjective. Education is the most pressing need of our country. Need is the noun and before it we have used the participle pressing. Hence it is the participle adjective. Now see, we have used most with pressing. So pressing is being compared. We are using the comparison of adjectives for participle. He was reputed to be most learned man of his time. Again, learned is the participle, it is the past participle and it is used before the noun man. And we have used most with learned. We have used the superlative degree of adjectives with the participle learned. That is, a participle completely acts as an adjective and we can also compare the participles. We can have the superlative and the comparative of participles. Now when we use a past participle as the participle adjective, then its meaning is passive. And when we use the present participle as the participle adjective, then its meaning is active. Let us see the examples. A spent swimmer. Here spent is the participle adjective and it is the past participle. Hence its meaning is passive. A swimmer who is tired out. A burnt child. Again a past participle and its meaning is passive. A child who is burnt. A painted doll. A doll which is painted. A rolling stone. A stone which rolls. In the last case we have the present participle and its meaning is active. Now let us revise the participle. A participle is a verbal adjective. That is, a participle can act as a verb and it can also act as an adjective. Like a verb, participle may govern a noun or a pronoun. We have seen the examples. Hearing the siren, the thief ran away. Now in that sentence, hearing is the participle and it is governing the thief, which is a noun. Like a verb, it can be modified by an adverb. We have also seen this example. Loudly knocking at the door, he demanded admission. Now in that sentence, loudly is the adverb and it is modifying the participle knocking. Like an adjective, the participle may qualify a noun or a pronoun. Now we have seen the examples of participle adjectives. We drank the sparkling water. Now in this sentence, sparkling is the participle and it is being used as an adjective. It is qualifying the water, which is a noun. Like an adjective, it can be compared in comparative and superlative degrees. We have also seen the examples of this. We can say that education is the most pressing issue of our nation. Now in this sentence, we have used most, which is the superlative degree form, with pressing. Pressing is a participle. Hence, pressing can be used perfectly as an adjective. We can also compare it. We can use the degrees of comparison with pressing, which is a participle. Now let us check the forms of participle of the verb learn. These are the active forms. We know that we cannot have the past participle in active meaning, hence there is no past participle form. The present participle is loving and the perfect participle is having loved. But this is the case of passive meaning. Here we can have present participle, perfect participle and the past participle also. The present participle form is being loved. Perfect participle is having been loved and the past participle is simply loved. We use the present participle with the tenses of verb be to make continuous tenses in active voice. For example, I am loving or I was loving or I shall be loving. This is the present continuous tense, this is the past continuous tense and this is the future continuous tense. In all these sentences, the voice is active voice and we have used the present participle loving with the tenses of verb be. Here am, here is was and here is be. This is the future tense of be, this is the past tense of be and this is the present tense of be. We also use the past participle in active voice to make sentences in perfect tense. For example, I have loved, I had loved, I will have loved. To make the sentences in perfect tense, we use the past participle with the verb have. I have loved is the present perfect tense. I had loved is the past perfect tense. And I will have or I shall have loved is the future perfect tense. The passive voice is formed from the past participle. We cannot use past participle to make sentences in active voice. We can only use past participle in passive voice. So we use the past participle to make sentences in passive voice with the help of the verb be. I am loved. In this sentence, am is the present tense of be. I am loved and it is in passive voice. I was loved. It is the past tense. I shall be loved. It is the future tense of the verb be. So we are making sentences in passive voice with the help of past participle and the tenses of the verb be. The second use of the participle is as proper adjectives. Participle can be used as adjectives to qualify a noun or a pronoun as attributively. We can use a participle as the attributive adjective. Examples are a rolling stone gathers no mass. In this sentence, rolling is attributing to the stone, which is the noun. His tattered coat needs mending. In this case, tattered is the past participle and it is attributing to the coat, which is the noun. A lost opportunity never returns. In this case, lost is the participle and it is being used with opportunity, which is the noun, as attributive. Predicatively, we can also use past participle predicatively, and the examples are: the man seems worried. In this case, worried is the participle, the past participle, and it is modifying the noun, the subject, the man. He kept me waiting. Again, in this case, waiting is the participle and it is modifying the noun, which is the subject, hence it is being used as the predicative. We can also use participle absolutely. Let us see the examples of. We can use a participle absolutely after a noun or a pronoun. Here are the examples. The weather being fine, I went out. Being is the participle, it is being used after weather, which is the noun, and it is the case of absolute use of participle as an adjective. Weather permitting, there will be a garden party. Again, permitting is the participle and it is being used after the noun weather. Many having arrived, we were freed from anxiety. It is also the case of absolute use of participle. Having is the participle. God willing, we will meet again. Again, we are using participle willing after the noun God. The sea being smooth, we went for sail. Being is the participle used after sea. Is master being absent? The business was neglected. Again, in this case, being is the participle used after master, which is the noun, and it is the case of absolute use of participle as an adjective. The wind being favorable, they embarked. Again, being is used after the wind. Now, in all these sentences, the participle along with the noun makes a phrase which is completely different from the rest of the sentence. The weather being fine, it has nothing to do with I went out. We can differentiate these two phrases. Weather permitting, there will be a garden party. Again, this phrase weather permitting is independent of the rest of the sentence. God willing, we will meet again. We will meet again is itself a sentence, a proper sentence, and God willing is the phrase which has nothing to do with the rest of the sentence. The sea being smooth, we went out. So all these phrases which contains the participle and the noun are known as the absolute phrases. And the noun or the pronoun used in these absolute phrases is known as the nominative absolute. So what are absolute phrases? Absolute phrases are those phrases containing the participle and the noun in the sentences in which we use the participle absolutely as an adjective after a noun or a pronoun. And what are nominative absolutes? Nominative absolutes are those nouns or pronouns that are used with participle in absolute phrases. Now we can easily change an absolute phrase to its subordinate clause. As for example, spring advancing, the swallows appear. This is the case of absolute phrase in which the participle is advancing and spring is the noun. What this absolute phrase spring advancing means is when spring advances, the swallows appear. That is, we have changed the absolute phrase spring advancing to the clause of time when spring advances. Again, the sea being smooth, we went for a sail. In this case, the sea being smooth is the absolute phrase and we can change it to the clause of reason. Because the sea was smooth, we went for a sail. The next case is God willing, we shall meet again. In this case, God willing can be changed to if God is willing and it is the clause of condition. So we can easily change an absolute phrase to the subordinate clause of time or reason or condition it is. Now let us discuss a very common error that we can make while using the participles. A participle is a verb adjective. It is a verb and it is also an adjective. So it must have a noun or a pronoun attached to it. Without a noun or pronoun, it has no meaning. That is, a participle must have a proper subject of reference. Standing at the gate, a scorpion stung him. Now this sentence is incorrect. It is making no sense. standing at the gate, a scorpion stung him. Who was standing on the gate? Was the scorpion standing on the gate or was he standing on the gate? It is not clear in this sentence, hence this sentence is wrong. The correct usage is standing at the gate, he was stung by a scorpion. Now in this sentence, the participle standing has a proper reference and it is he. He was standing at the gate and he was stung by a scorpion. The second case is going up the hill, a temple was seen. Now in this sentence, going is the participle but it has no subject of reference. Hence it is the wrong statement. We cannot use it going like this. The proper use is when we went up the hill, we saw a temple. Now, so this was all about the participle, the verb adjective. I hope you liked this video. Please share it and please subscribe to the discourse. Thanks.